Hi everyone, my name is Jan Thijssen. I'm creative director at King Art Games and game director of Dawn of War 4.
And I'm Elliot Verbeest, and I'm a senior game designer on Dawn of War 4.
Warhammer 11th edition is here, and we thought we'd celebrate this by give you an extended look at Dawn of War 4 multiplayer. First up, Space Marines versus Orcs. Disciplined firepower against pure battlefield chaos.
So this matchup is all about map control, pressure, and momentum. The Space Marines can dominate key engagements with smaller elite forces, but if the Orcs are allowed to build numbers and control the flow of the battlefield, things can spiral very quickly.
This gameplay is captured directly from multiplayer, and we want to give you some insights into scale, pacing, faction identity in Dawn of War 4.
Alright, let's jump right into it.
Okay, let's go. This is a relatively small map, but as always, map control is very important. And economy is very important, so early on you try to capture as many resource points as you can. I'm playing the Space Marines and the Blood Ravens in this case, but of course you can use the Army Painter to play any chapter you want. And Elliot is playing Orcs, so he will have a lot more unit than I have. But my units are stronger, so let's see how it goes.
Indeed, indeed. And I am already going to go ahead and make a play because when it comes to Orcs, it's all about quantity over quality. So I know for a fact that Space Marines are relatively power hungry, so I'm going to go ahead and make a play for the center of the map already and see if I can capture and hold this power node, because the more I can starve Jan of power, the better for me in the long term. Orcs are relatively snowbally as a faction, so the longer that I can hold on and fight and become stronger, the better chances I have of winning.
I'm stronger, or Space Marines are stronger one-on-one, so if I can catch one of his guys one-on-one, I will definitely attack them, but usually there might be more than one Orc, and so I might not be able to attack them.
Generally speaking, I want to try and avoid fighting Jan's Space Marines one-to-one. So if I can try and outnumber him in a fight, that will definitely help me win engagements. And I see he's got a power node here, so I'm going to go and try and snab that while he's upgrading it. Because power nodes generally, when you capture them with infantry, you automatically gain all the power generators that are on them as well. So if you manage to steal them from under your opponent's nose, that means that you can just take a lot of power input from him right away.
Right, and also these points cannot defend themselves. The requisition points, when you upgrade them, they become, something that can shoot back and can fight back. But these guys cannot, so I need to go over there and recapture it quickly, because power is really important for me as a Space Marine.
And as you can see here, he's already taken out a few of my units, but maybe I can hold on for just a little bit longer, but I think this is looking pretty bad. So I'm going to go ahead and hit retreat on my shooter boy so they run on back to the closest production building.
Let's see if we can stop him.
I don't know. I do get...
I think he didn't realize that a second of my units joined the fights. And also I put one of my units, I gave them auto reinforcements, which basically means that the unit heals automatically. Very expensive, costs a lot of resources, but it also makes them very hard to kill.
And I'm gonna go ahead and start building a base right over here. So one of the unique things about the Orcs is that their infantry units, almost all of them, can build structures pretty much wherever they want on the map, which, because structures are relatively cheap for the Orcs as well, and they're all armed, lets me just spread out a whole bunch of bases across the map, essentially. It's effectively a way of, utilizing base crawling as a legitimate strategy.
Right, and what I just did is I did a little bit of research. Basically, depending on what you want to do in the game, you want different things earlier or later, right? Because research in the game doesn't cost any resources, it just costs time. So it's all about the order in which you research something. And basically, I could have researched, that my units capture points faster, or, that I get more armor for certain unit types, stuff like that. And yeah, most of that is useful at the beginning. And so the question really is, okay, what is the current situation, right? So for example, if this would be like a bigger map with more points, and there would be more points to capture, then maybe I would have picked the capture points faster ability. But since I already have all the points that I probably can have, at least for the foreseeable future, I'm basically picked more fighty stuff.
Okay, looks like you're making a move for the center power node here, so I'm gonna try and do something about that.
Yeah, that was maybe a little bit ambitious. So let me actually...
That's right, come back another time.
put some defenses up here.
That's an excellent idea. Let me go ahead and do that myself. I'm gonna go ahead and build a bomb squig pen here. One of the more hardier fortifications that the orcs have. They automatically generate bomb squigs and send those out to any enemies in range.
Right, and we can have a look at the different upgrades. So I can equip them with auto bolt rifles, with swords, for example, and with grenade launchers. In the early game, you know, I don't need the stuff that's good against vehicles and structures. I more need stuff that is good against infantry. So I equip that for now. Oh, he is attacking me. That's not...
There we go. We've gotten the power node here, and we've taken over all the generators. That's going to be a nice power boost for me. Maybe what I'll go ahead and do is I'm going to put a mech gun here. See how you like that.
Nice try, but I think you're in trouble.
Oh. Uh-oh, pincer maneuver. Yeah, I'm out of here. Forget about it. All right, let's run back to base. Let's see if we can get a couple. So I've got myself a scrap heap here. Get some vehicles out for myself. Hopefully that will give me some armor against you.
Yeah, these are the bomb squigs from this bomb squig pen. They're nasty. If they reach you, they can actually deal a lot of damage, even for Space Marines.
Ah, what's this? Trying to sneak past me here? I don't think so. Got some Defcopters here to try and take you down while you make your way over. I think I'm just gonna go ahead and take that point, if that's all right with you.
You can try, you can try. Actually, now I have enough resources. So, Hammerfall bunker coming down.
Okay, that's not looking great for me. Let's get out of here. That's a little bit too fortified. So that's definitely one of the strengths that the Space Marines have, is that they can just spontaneously drop a defense or two onto a position, and you have to be able to respond to that fairly quickly.
Also, one thing we can do is we can produce stuff in reserve, which basically means that it's not going to be on the battlefield, but instead in orbit. And then I can drop it anywhere I want. So let's do that for a little bit of a surprise.
Now, that's a little bit more range than I expected. I'm gonna pull back out of this, but I think we managed to deal a little bit more damage to you this time. There we go. We're gonna hang on back here for a minute. I think I'm gonna go see if I can build a couple more faster moving units to try and get an eye on what you're up to and see if there's any points that I can capture here.
I mean, there are 3 energy points on the map and I only have 1, so it would be really great if I could capture another energy point, but I think he might have something against there.
Okay, never mind. I'm gonna just demolish that building under construction. That should refund the resources for that. Doesn't work for fully built structures, but in this particular case, I think that's necessary.
Actually, let's come down and also let's add a little bit of a stratagem here.
Uh-oh.
Yep. That's Space Marines for you, baby.
Okay, now I'm stuck between a rock and a hard place, so I'm gonna go ahead and see if I can create a corridor to get my units out of here. Oh, okay, that's looking like a pretty sizable army you've got going on there, so I'm not exactly sure how I'm gonna capture that point, but maybe I can take a look to see where else I can take some resources off of you.
So that was a successful assault, I would say. Shock and awe tactics. Now I have 2 energy points, which should really help me out, because all the big stuff I want to build costs energy, and now I can build a vehicle production. I'm building my chaplain on bike next. Here it still says Ezreal, but in the final game the commanders will be generic in the skirmisher multiplayer matches. Oh, I didn't see that. Now I don't have enough resources to drop a hammerfall, so this point is probably gone.
Yeah, very good. I was hoping that you would have let that one relatively undefended, because then I can get away with taking that point, because I've got a pretty big requisition cost right now that I need to take care of.
There's Israel.
There we go. Now I've got my own commander out as well. We've got Guzkutta here. Okay, I see here what you've got. Let's see if we can tackle your blade guards over here. Ah! If that ain't Ezrael, well, let's see if we can take him on then. Let's attach.
Bring it. Come on.
Alright, let's dance. Let's use an ability here.
Oh, okay, that was a little bit much. So let's do a quick retreat.
Darn eradicators. But I'm not out of the woods just yet. Can I maybe put that down here? Uh-oh. The unique thing about the orcs is that once I have reached maximum Wa here, we are able to unlock everything that the orc arsenal has to offer. And then I think I've got enough for a Gorkanaut. There we go. Okay. Let's see if we can put that together as fast as we can. And we're just gonna hold the line. We also have our final ultimate stratagem here. And that should hopefully give us a bit of an edge in the fights to come.
Yeah, let's try big attack here. I placed some units in reserve and in the Thunderhawk relay. So hopefully that is going to be a nasty surprise.
Okay, I think I might have just the thing to deal with this though.
Bring it on. Oh, big boys. Okay, then let's do a bombing run, definitely.
Okay. Yeah. I think I might have this when it comes to the vehicle capabilities.
The cavalry is here. Thunderhawk, a bunch of units. Some drop pods.
Ooh. Okay, I think I'm gonna have to pull back from this. Gotta find another solution. I'm just gonna make sure that I can fortify myself as best as I can. And I think it's time to start putting these Gorkanauts together.
Yeah, then maybe it's time for me for an orbital bombardment, which is my strongest stratagem. And
Ooh, yikes.
It's a ton of damage.
Ah, but it also deals damage to your own units. And that seems to have cost you.
Yeah, but I think it costs you more, so I'm okay with that. Not great, but okay.
Okay, looks like the Gorkanaut made the difference in this particular fight right now. Let's see if we can take care of your eradicators.
I think you might have not seen the real danger here.
I don't know. Is it a danger? I'll come check up on that later when I can. Okay. Right now I'm just gonna make sure to fortify this position here.
Oh no, here's a second HQ.
Aha!
Ah! No, this is orc stuff. This is bad. Okay, let's see where it is.
Exactly. Orcs can build everywhere and I'm gonna make use of that.
Okay, it's not over yet.
This is gonna be tough though. Not looking great for me. Let's finish these constructions first, if we can. Okay, this is looking pretty rough for me. I think I may have overplayed my hand here.
I have a little bit more coming.
Yeah, there's not much I can do here, so I think that this is going to conclude this particular match. So well played indeed, Jan.
Yeah, thanks. I mean, this was definitely one of the smaller maps. So this was also pretty quick, maybe 20 minutes or so. Of course, we have much larger maps, and you can also play 2 versus 2 or 3 versus 3. Matches can take up to an hour if you play something really big, but
especially with free for all, right?
Yeah, but this was like a nice 20 minutes or 24 minutes, so that's nice. Okay, cool. Yeah, I hope you liked it, and see you guys soon. Bye.
Next up is the Adeptus Mechanicus versus Necrons, two highly advanced factions with radically different battlefield philosophies.
This matchup leads heavily into map control and technology. The Adeptus Mechanicus excel at fortifying positions, building powerful bases, and churning out armored firepower, while the Necrons are relentless, durable, and capable of turning slow pressure into overwhelming force. Okay, welcome back to a new multiplayer match of Dawn of War 4. This time I'm playing the AdMech.
And I am playing the Necrons.
And AdMech, very different from Space Marines that I played before. Have a lot more units, much quicker. So, you know, I can expand a little bit more aggressive. And also what I want to do is, with the Datasmith, these guys, that are the builder units basically, I want to build up a new sphere network. So basically, whenever I build a building, I try to make sure that the next building is, you know, within the network, because what it does is it makes the network stronger, and a stronger network means, you know, buildings produce for cheaper, or, you know, turrets fight harder, you know, stuff like that. And so, yeah, one of the big things I want to do is build this new sphere network.
Indeed, indeed. And as for the Necrons, my primary objective, what I want to do is I want to spread the power matrix, which is this funky looking effect that you can see on the terrain here. It is spread, as you can see, by every or almost every Necron structure. So Necrons don't need power or requisition or all those other things that the vermin species require in order to host their armies. We have only one resource, and it's called Dominion, which is earned by spreading this power matrix. The further out we spread it, the more we earn of it. The power matrix also grants additional bonuses to our units on it. So they gain improved HP generation, they regain members faster. All Necrons basically automatically heal slowly over time. And we can speed that up as long as they are on the matrix. So that gives us a big advantage in combat. So the further we can spread out, we do hit a maximum at some point for our Dominion. But with this, it can still benefit us greatly throughout a match.
Right, and I assume these 3 points here will probably be very contested. So what I'm trying to do now is basically spread the network to the points, because this helps me in two different ways. First of all, my network grows, which is good, but also then when I build turrets there, all the turrets become much more powerful.
Indeed, I already saw that you are trying to take this point on, so I've sent some scarabs out to fight your rangers.
Yeah, Scarabs very annoying. They are pretty fast, can fly, and not super easy to kill, and so they are the best like harassment unit in the game, I would say. And of course, as always, you know, he managed to get the Necrons into melee combat with my range units, and my rangers are much stronger than Scarabs in range, of course, but if he managed to basically bind me into melee, you know, then I struggle because I can't use my best weapons.
One thing you may have noticed is that the Necron units are generally quite powerful, but not particularly mobile. And the main way that they get around this is through teleportation or translocation technology. The main way that they do that is through the use of canoptic spiders that they can build through the canoptic foundry, which creates tomb pylons. These can be placed anywhere on the map, and as soon as they are placed, you can put units in the reserve, placing them into the tomb citadel, and then deploy them from that reserve to any tomb pylon on the map.
Right, and as you can see here, my new sphere network is growing and growing, unlocking all sorts of research, because, you know, AdMech have a lot of stuff they can optimize and unlock, you know, and this means that all my Skitarii units, for example, now have better weapons, and they can get more models into the unit and stuff like that. So, you know, this is important to keep in mind, basically, to make sure all your units have the best stuff available.
Okay, so I've managed to teleport a whole bunch of warriors relatively close to the front line, so we're going to make use of that as soon as we've got this convergence of Dominion set up, essentially, which is a relatively cheap structure that allows us to quickly spread the power matrix. It doesn't have a lot of other functionality, but that is its core functionality, and that will help us with this coming fight, as you can see here.
Right, and I let my commander, SecX23, I ordered him to lead these units, and then I can give him a couple of nice upgrades that basically make him and the unit a lot stronger.
Alright, so I anticipate that this fight is going to be a little bit tougher, so I'm going to go ahead and build some resurrection galleries in order to support any fallen units. When you lose units, you can have those be selected within a resurrection gallery, which restores that unit over time when it falls in battle, completely for free. So building plenty of resurrection galleries will really help to bolster your forces if you're losing a battle. Losing more of the selected units while one is already being resurrected speeds up that resurrection, so that really gives you that effect of a non-stop oncoming tidal wave of whatever units you want to choose to resurrect. But you have to choose wisely, you can only pick one at a time. So there we go, and we've got one right here, right now. So we're going to go ahead and set this other resurrection gallery for warriors as well, and we're going to start churning these out.
My user network is now at level 8, which is already really good, which means that I can now produce units a lot cheaper, and also turrets and so on are more powerful. So I can now really build a lot of units for relatively little resources.
Okay, and while you're putting that all together and you're fighting, I'm just going to build more resurrection galleries. Try and keep those warriors coming out.
I put all my units on auto-reinforce, which means that all the units are being, healed automatically, but it's also, a really big drain on my resources.
And we're gonna go ahead and do something a little bit sneaky, and hopefully we can catch Jan off guard if we do so.
It's actually not easy for him to do something sneaky and surprising, because what you can see here, these greenish blobs, they are the auger vision. So this is basically a way for AdMech players to see into the fog of war. It's a kind of heat map, and you can see where enemy units are on the mini-map and also in-game. And this makes it very hard to surprise attack AdMech units, because you always get this little warning where the enemy might be.
That's true, but with this amount of warriors here that I've got going on, I don't think I need too much surprise. There we go. Okay, now a real fight's breaking out. We're throwing out the stratagems here. Alright, and I've thrown a gravity pulse onto you to hopefully soften up your army here. It's done quite a lot of damage to my warriors, but fortunately, they are already well on their way to return, so we're actually going to go ahead and put another one down here. So yes, Augur Vision is indeed, for the Adeptus Mechanicus, is very effective for predicting troop movement, but with the ability to teleport, it might give me the upper hand I need, because there is, I believe, like a very slight delay to Augur Vision, like when it gets updated, and so if you start seeing a big blotch of red coming around the corner, then it might already be too late for you.
Yeah, that's true.
There we go. In the meantime, while we're dealing with this encounter here, we're gonna just further expand the power matrix, build a couple more sentry pylons. Well, now I think I may have you pinned here. Now we're coming from both ends. We're gonna see how quickly that's gonna go down. There we go. Okay, we're gonna throw down a solar pulse stratagem. That is Omnox's unique stratagem here, which should reduce the defenses of all enemy units on the field, and will also negate any cover. Of course, Necrons, don't require cover. Why? If you have no fear of death, then why should you ever use something like that? We're just gonna march forward, and we're gonna try and push forward as far as we can. We're gonna see how long, whether Jan can deal with that or not. Let's find out.
Yeah, I mean, this is definitely now something I wanna hold. So I put some auto reinforcements in here, just to make sure I don't lose the most important units.
I'm gonna very gently start teching up here and trying to get some more effective units, because I'm starting to see here that you can now out-damage and out-fell my warriors faster than I can regenerate them. So that means I'm going to have to move on to some slightly more effective tactics from here on out.
I think I retreat. Don't want to lose my commander. This is a lot of Necrons.
Yeah. I've this is a pretty strong tactic that I've found that Necrons can work with. But we'll see if it's enough to repel your attacks here. Ooh, there we go. Okay, we're gonna throw a gravity pulse stratagem over here, soften up your forces.
Let's get out of the way. I have some resource problems here because, as you can see, I have relatively high upkeep because my army is so big, and also when you control a lot of points, then each additional points you control gives you a little bit less resources. And both of that combined, oh, and I forgot to build generators here. All of that combined meant I did not have as much resources as I wanted to have. But now I have my stratagem back, so that is helpful. And also, I mean, his warriors are pretty good against a lot of things, but not against tanks, right? So these guys can hopefully keep them away for a while.
Looks like I was able to repel the brunt of your force, but looks like it's going to take a little bit more. So I'm going to send in some wraiths here, using hyper phasing to get through obstacles and the like, and make sure that I don't get bogged down by melee, so I can just hit your units straight on.
Yeah, my production is running well. Everything is relatively cheap now that my user network is big enough. But actually, let me make it even bigger, because even bigger means even cheaper units.
There we go. Okay, I've got one of the Necron endgame units out, which is the Monolith. So we're gonna teleport this bad boy straight over here to come and deal with your forces. And we're gonna start deploying units from it, from reserve, same as we do with the tomb pylons. There we go. And then we're just gonna move forward until we hit your headquarters. Get our Lich Guards out. Oh my goodness. They were just taken out by that Scorpius Disintegrator. We're gonna have to take care of that. There we go. Ooh, that was a little bit too close. Probably shouldn't have done that. That's a mistake on my part. Oh, you got quite a few of these. Oh no!
Yeah, that's the nice thing with the AdMech. The AdMech really strong production capabilities. And so, especially when you come close to my base, you know, then you better bring the goods.
Okay, well, I guess if you come for the king, you best not miss. So I'm gonna give that another shot, but not to worry. In the meantime, while you've been dealing with that, I've been restoring my legion of warriors.
Yeah, but now actually I come into your territory and looking for convergence of Dominion. So if I destroy enough of those, he will have resource problems on his own.
That's very true. The Dominion or the domain that a Necron can set up can be very, very strong, but it is relatively fragile internally. Like, if you don't have enough defenses from the center on, it can be quite vulnerable.
Yeah, also let's see what we can deploy here. Maybe some sort of surprise.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Oh, no. This is going to be a problem.
I don't think so. I think it's going to be fun. Oh, and all your nice resurrection galleries. Because, obviously, the resurrection galleries here, each one resurrects one type of enemy, and so if I destroy all three of them, then three types of enemies won't come back anymore, which makes it a lot easier for me.
Okay, time to take care of this. We're gonna have to get rid of that knight. Fortunately, I've already got another monolith out. We're just gonna teleport it as fast as we can. This is not looking great for me, but I still have a few cards up my sleeve, and we almost have that knight down.
Yeah?
What I'll do is I'll see if I can... There we go. Get a few Canoptic Doomstalkers out to try and tackle it. Long range armor piercing should do the trick.
Oh no, my knight! If only I had another one.
Ah, no, not for real? We're going to go ahead and get a whole bunch generated. Oh, it's just a little too late for teleporting that out. Ah, well, I unfortunately seem to have been hoisted by my own petard, having not enough defense here. I very aggressively spread the power matrix, but I didn't have any other internal defenses here, so... Oh, this is going to be a problem. I'll just put one down now.
Yeah, Necrons actually have pretty good turrets, and the smaller ones, they can actually teleport, which makes them especially nasty, because basically you can, you know, push them wherever you want them to go with your front, you know, so that's... Oh, there it is. Oh. This is what I was looking for.
Yeah, now I'm in danger. Well, it was a significant back and forth, Jan, but it looks like this is going to be a pretty decisive victory for you. Well played.
Thank you. As it should be, the AdMech won. See you later.